Three, two, one. Hello, everyone. My name is Muzame Putra, and today I will be giving an informative speech entitled Utilitarianism Explained. Now, what is the right thing to do? That is the question that I usually ask myself when I was watching movies, typically superhero movies. For example, from the movie The Batman, is it morally right for Batman to not kill the Joker? According to the Batman, killing is a wrong thing to do. But is it though in this case? Because if Joker is managed to be killed, it will save more life, more future victims of Joker can be saved. And how about Avengers Infinity War? In that movie, Thanos actually have a few good points, he states that overpopulation is the problem and resources are finite, and the one way to combat this is that to sacrifice half of the universe and to save half of the other half of the universe and generations to come. So although it is considered as wrong thing to taking lives, but are those morally right thing to do, or is it not? Now, to answer this question, I believe that this um, ethical theory, utilitarianism, might be able to answer that. So my purpose of this informative speech is to give some explanation about this philosophy, ethical theory, utilitarianism. So let's begin with the definition first. Utilitarianism is an ethical theory or philosophy that states it's morally right to give the most happiness, benefit, or pleasure to the greatest number of people. Now, I believe that definition alone is not enough to describe what utilitarianism truly is. So in this presentation, I will give a few situations for you to apply utilitarianism in making decisions. So in this presentation, I will talk about the more happiness you give, the more righteous you are. And my next point is consequences of your action are more important than your intention. My next point is utilitarianism is a selfless approach and not egoistic. And the next point is emotion doesn't play a huge role in making decisions. So let's begin with my first point first, which is the more happiness you give, the more righteous you are. Now let's take a look in this situation. Let's say that you here have a cake, and then you have three friends, and your three friends doesn't have a cake. Now let's consider some of the option that you can make. Okay, so option number one, you eat the cake by yourself, leaving three of your friends hungry and alone. And your second option is for you to share your cake with your friends. So, what is the morally right thing to do in this situation, according to utilitarianism? So, if you eat the cake alone, the total number of happy people would be you alone. If you share your cake with your friends, the total number of happy people would be four, including you. So, according to utilitarianism, four is greater than one. Therefore, the second option is the morally right thing to do is that you sharing your cake with your friends. So utilitarianism sounds pretty nice, right? Or is it? Now let's move on to the next situation. Consequences of your action are more important than your intention. Let's say that you have a friend in the situation named Ben. Ben here is having some kind of breathing complication. He is suffocating, and in order for him to in order for him to be saved, someone needs to do a CPR. And you wanted to conduct a CPR on Ben. But the thing is, you are not properly trained to do some kind of CPR, although your intention is noble, which is to save Ben's life. So while you are doing the CPR procedure on him, you accidentally broken his ribcage. So instead of saving his life, you're making the situation so much worse, making Ben even harder to breathe. So, according to utilitarianism, what you did, is it the right thing or is it the wrong thing? Well, according to utilitarianism, what you did was morally wrong. Although your intention is noble, which is to save life. However, in this situation, the consequences matters more than your intention. So that one seems a bit harsh. Or is it? So now let's move on to the next situation. Utilitarianism is a selfless approach, not egoistic. Now let's begin. let's begin to imagine that we live in a zombie apocalypse situation. Yeah, how about that? Let's say that the zombie here has bitten you, and you will be infected in just a matter of minutes, leaving your three friends in danger. So, in this situation, according to utilitarianism, what is the right thing to do? Well, according to utilitarianism, the right thing to do is for you to sacrifice yourself, or at least stay away from your friends. Although it will be sad that you need to end your own life and you need to stay far away from your friends, this is the right thing to do. You need to sacrifice yourself in order to save your friends, because the survival of your three friends' lives is more important than your own life, which is only one. So this is a selfless approach in making decisions according to utilitarianism. Now, let's move on to the final situation. Now, this situation is really one of the most popular situations that people use to describe what utilitarianism truly is. Now, let me describe about this situation first. Emotion doesn't play a huge role in making decisions. Now, let's say that you are a doctor and you have five pills and you have five patients. And the first four patients here, the blue ones, they only need one pill each to survive. However, the last patient, the red patient, it needs five pills to survive. They are all in the same, they are all having the same kind of disease, right? So you, as a doctor, what is the morally right thing to do? Is it to save one person or is it to save four persons? Um, the right thing to do, the morally right thing to do, according to utilitarianism, is for you to give one pill each to your first four patients, the blue ones, and thus leaving the red patient to be sacrificed and not surviving that disease. Although this is sounds a bit harsh, but this is the right thing to do because four lives is greater than one lives in this situation. And just like I said before, emotion doesn't play a huge role in making decision. So that would mean that even though that red patient is someone that you know, even if the red patient is your family members, even um if the red patient is your best friend, the right thing to do is to save the greatest number of people, regardless of the identity of the red person. That is what utilitarianism truly means. So, utilitarianism, is it good or is it bad? I'm not going to tell you because this is an informative speech. It is up to your judgment to decide whether utilitarianism is good or bad. So, to conclude this presentation, I would say that utilitarianism is trying its best to answer the question what a human ought to do. What is something that we can all agree, collectively agree, regardless of your regardless of your background, regardless of your religion, regardless of your identity, what is the right thing to do? Well, according to utilitarianism, one thing that we can all agree is that we are all in pursuit of happiness. Every decision that we make, the final result that we desire is happiness. Therefore, um, if we could give the most amount of happiness to the greatest number of people according to utilitarianism, that is the right thing to do. However, it does have some limitation, and I will leave that to your judgment. Therefore, that would be my conclusion for this presentation today, which is Utilitarianism Explained. Thank you so much for watching.